welcome to setting up the BL20 multi-protocol gateway for Ethernet. Today we're going to be setting up the BL20-E-GW-EN-IP. First thing you're going to do is get it out of the box, get it wired up, get some power to it, plug your Ethernet cord into it, and then into your laptop or programming terminal. Okay, once you get the new unit out of the box, hook up the Ethernet cord. Make sure you apply power where the power is needed. This is 24 volts DC. And then plug your Ethernet cord into your programming terminal. And now I'm going to go and show you how to change your IP address for the network. Okay, now that that's done, we'll go ahead and we're going to open up Packware. If you don't have Packware, you can download it from Turck. First thing you're going to want to do is select this bottom one, Turck BL service TCP-IP. Come over here in the project tree. You're going to right click. You're going to go down to additional functions. You're going to come down to bus address management. And then we're going to select the drop down. We're going to want local area connection. And then we're going to want to scan and see if we can find the device. Okay, we found the device. The device is unknown, and that's because the IP address is right here. So we need to change the IP address of our local area connection. So we're going to go open your network options. You're going to go into properties. You're going to select this. You're going to select properties, and then you're going to come in here and change it. What we're doing is we're giving our programming terminal a static IP address. Once you enter the information, hit OK, hit close, close. Okay, we're going to have to close this out. Do the same process over. Additional functions, bus address management, local area connection 2, and then we'll search for the drive, and here it is. It populated it. Now it's in here. It's a BL20 E-GW-EN-IP with the same address as we were just looking at. So now I'm going to use Google Chrome, and we're going to go right to that address. This is the address we went to. Now we're going to select Setup. We want to set the IP configuration. We're going to set it to the network that we want it on, which happens to be in my drop down, which is 10.164.177.165. Change the default gateway. It happened to be in the drop down too, 10.164.177.1. And you're going to need a password. The password is password. This is in the documentation. You can download the PDF online. Select Apply Changes. It didn't reload the page because the address is different and we cannot connect to it now. Now we'll go ahead and we'll close out the bus address management again. We're going to go down here to Open Network Sharing Center, and we're going to go to the Properties tab of our local area connection, and we're going to change it back to where we were, so that it's on the same network. Now we'll come in here, right click, additional functions, bus address management, local area connection, and we'll scan. And here it is. It's on the same network, except for we have a problem. We set it to 165. We need it to be 165. It's on 161. So right now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to change the dip switch setting so that the last octet is 165. How do you figure out which position to put the dip switches in? You're going to pull up your calculator. on your laptop or your programming terminal, and you're going to change the view. We're going to go to Programmer. You're going to type in 165, and then you're going to select bin for binary. It always goes from right to left. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 8 dip switches to change. You have 8 digits here. So it's going to be on, off, on, off, off, on, off, on. And now I'm going to show you how to do it. Alright, as you can see, here are the address dip switches we need to change. And it looks like we only need to change number 2. So we'll open the cover. And we'll change the second one. So now that it's changed, go ahead and close the cover. Go back to the programming terminal. Okay, now that you have the dip switch settings in the correct position, you go ahead and close your calculator. You won't need it anymore. We're going to have to close, or excuse me, we won't have to close this. All we're going to do is rescan. So we'll search the network again. And there it is, it populated. Remember to disconnect the power before you change the dip switch setting. You don't have to, but at least then you still have to disconnect power anyway, because it has to be power cycled after you change the dip switch settings. Next, I'm going to show you how to configure all your output modules so that they match the unit. Okay, so we're going to come out to the floor to change your BL20 gateway. You'll separate it from the rest of your I/O units. Take it off, you get a new one, put it back in, push them together, wire everything up. You want to power it up. And you'll notice that you're going to have a blinking I/O, saying you have an I/O fault. As long as you have all the items wired up correctly, what you're going to want to do is take the cover off, the bottom switch. I'm going to zoom in for you here. As you see, you have a blinking red I/O, and the only thing you have to do is, after you snap them together, lift this up, and on here it says configure. So we'll lift this up high enough so you can see that light. The bottom dip switch you're going to want to push over to the right. It'll flash. Now it's done. Flip it back over, and it's green, and I configured all your I/O. So all these cards are now in the processor. Everything is good, and you should be ready to go. And that's all there is to changing it out. Okay, now that you've done that, we can go ahead and add this to our project tree. Just select this, add device /DTM to project. Now it's going to ask you to add the DTMs. The DTMs are your digital I/O modules. Just select OK. Automatically added those here. Now if you have an S-wire unit, you're going to have to set up the S-wire per the devices that you have out there. We'll get into that later, then in another tutorial. Okay, this is all I had for the tutorial. I hope that helped you get the address set in your Turck BL20s and get them on the network and configured. In the next tutorial, I'll show you how to set up the I/O and the S-wire, how to set up the S-wire module, and how to add it to an RS Logix 5000 controller. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe so you can keep up on all our new tutorials. Thank you.